have got a very full house. And to my left, we have none other than Philadelphia's own
Kelly Burkhart. Hi, everyone.
And who would you be?
Yeah, I don't need
you mean no one knows who I am?
Microphone.
You got to make love to that mic.
I know. I'm a filmmaker, photographer, activist. I kind of do it all. Artist.
Wow. We're going to have to pump it up a little bit. Now we're going to go to your left and we're going to pump it up with none other than...
What's up, y'all? Christian Love on the building.
Yeah, welcome back. I haven't seen you since you've been back to Philly.
I know. It's good to be back.
I think I saw you the first day. I literally did. I saw him the first day. He was back in Philly.
Oh, wow. So it's like that. I didn't get invited to that party.
Just downtown, walking down the street.
I'm feeling some kind of way. I guess
Not bad.
well, to the left. We'll talk. We will talk.
Yeah.
So we're in the studio today, and like our captain at the helm of this ship says, we don't have a lot of time to fool around, so that means we should fool around.
See, I was keeping it tight.
But you're here for an extraordinary reason, so we're going to jump right in and talk about the Gloria Project.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I'm here because I'm making a documentary on Gloria Casarez, our fallen heroine is what she really is. And for those who don't know who she is, you can Google her, but I'll tell you really quickly. She was this incredible woman who inspired a generation of leaders, and she started as an activist, as a lesbian, radical feminist, but really worked tirelessly to help the homeless, and people, did a lot of focus on folks in the poverty realm, like during the 1990s, and there were these things called Tent City, and they would march to Harrisburg and to show the governors that don't forget about the poor people, and from that she really moved on, and before she passed away at 42. In 2014, she was then the director of LGBT affairs, which I think was like the first kind of cabinet position in the country, really.
Yeah.
And so she was a groundbreaking woman who worked then tirelessly in city government, putting her best service forward to help all those.
Yeah.
So that's what the documentary is about. It's about her.
You know what? The thing of it is that I'm loving about this, and I can't wait to see what you produce with this. I remember the first time I met Gloria, and I'm walking through City Hall. Petite woman in stature, but huge. She was like a giant.
Yes.
And her personality, her personality came around the corner before her body. And you felt her coming, and she was about her business. And I remember thinking, I want to work with her. I want to create change with her, because I knew that they had someone in that position that was going to be dynamic. Even before she could even start putting ink to paper, I knew this about her, and she did not disappoint.
Yes.
She did not disappoint.
And in fact, that's kind of why, Gloria led me to Christian, really, because Christian, great introduction for you, but Gloria was a mentor of yours, but you were doing a lot of great work, so I want to kick it over to him.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell us about your experience with Gloria.
Gloria was my mentor, a friend. She was family to me. Just somebody who I just overall admired. And I don't admire too many people, so she was definitely somebody who was very special to me. I love the fact that she was always accessible, even though she had this really important position in City Hall, the community could still, reach out to her and actually get a response, and quickly at that. And I love the fact that she literally was for LGBTQ people. Like, I think sometimes, if you're lesbian, you may more so fight for women's rights or lesbian rights, or if you're a gay man, your passion is gay male rights. But Gloria, she literally fought for all of us and loved and cared for all of us. And that's what I really admired about her.
Well, one of the things that I could appreciate is our own DJ Foxee Coxxy, who's also our executive producer, had an opportunity to work side by side with her, particularly in a dyke march, and she comes from a space of like really knuckling under and walking side by side with Gloria. So, Foxy, tell us about that experience.
Now you want to make me cry, don't you?
Right?
It's definitely one of those touchy subjects where I just get completely emotional. And my relationship with Gloria began, of course, when I started South Jersey Pride. Just really reaching out to her, like Christian said, being able to just total accessibility. Like I would call her line and she would be the one to answer, and I was like, okay, this is great. But just she definitely developed a great path for me with as far as leadership, networking, and just an overall mentor. So it's just without me getting emotional. I recently shared a video. I believe it was the last dyke mark that she attended, and I knew in my heart when I was recording the video that it was not going to happen again next year, not with her being there. And of course it was it was very ceremonial and tribal because the entire team was actually on the stage, which is a rarity. And she was kind of like giving like her final message, like, this is your torch, pretty much. And I sent that video to Amber because she was like in the front row. And I sent it to her recently because I just wanted her to remember where her space is, like where she's coming from. Because she has a very rough, long road ahead of her. It's a lot of glitz and glam. But just going back to that moment of sweat and equity, that's just pretty much the beginning. It's pretty much the beginning, and that's where essentially Gloria was passing the torch to everyone in that audience.
So when you mention Amber, we're talking about Amber Hikes, who's the new director for LGBT affairs, and I believe she starts on March 6th. And she's packing up and getting ready to move back here to Philadelphia. So back to you, Kelly. I know you also had a very personal relationship with Gloria. So in addition to that personal relationship, what inspired you that this was the time to put this documentary together?
Well, I want to quickly, or hopefully, follow in what these guys what they were both saying, because it leads to the question or the answer to your question, and that is, Gloria created this really great, it's for layman's terms community, but it really was, and as I said in the beginning, leadership, because she helped guide a lot of people along. I mean, I worked with her in a different capacity through the film festivals back in the day, and she, we worked together about getting the mayor on, but then we of course would talk about, the various issues and things like that that would go on. So our relationship, how she treated folks was essentially the same. If you're showing you or laying out a path for you to start, South Jersey Pride, as Christian was working to start the trans march in Philadelphia, it didn't matter what it was. Gloria was just that person who took you and grabbed you and moved you along. And so what sort of inspired me, I mean, honestly, she passed away. And I hate to say that, but that is what inspired me. I stood in the back at her funeral, and I was one of the ushers, and I looked at almost 900 people standing there, celebrating her life and mourning her life, and the thing that sort of like worried me initially was, are things going to be forgotten? Is someone going to be forgotten? So then that was sort of like the first kind of hint in my head. And I was talking with Alicia Gonzalez, who's a very good friend of mine as well. Also was mentored, Gloria mentored her. And she was updating me on what was happening with the mural. And we were sitting there having drinks, and I looked at her and I was like, someone needs to document this. Like, we can't, this is someone that we just need to document. or the process, and she says to me, "You need to document it." And we both looked at each other, and like light bulb blew up in our heads and in my head. And she texted Gloria's wife, Trisha Dressel, and asked if I could meet with her, and that Kelly wants to make a documentary on Gloria, and she wrote back, "Yes, period."
Wow.
And that's essentially how simple the story is. And I'm very, of course, incredibly thankful for Trisha for, allowing this to happen, because I know it's been very difficult. It's been difficult for everybody.
Trisha. Much love to Trisha.
Yeah.
And it's also been difficult because everyone is, has unfortunately been gone for only 2 years. And for me, I'm more of a doer. That's how I mourn. I have to do things. And I'm fully taking that expression from Amber, because she said it initially at first when she was talking about Gloria. And so that's why I just steam. I didn't want to miss this incredible process. I didn't really know what was going to happen. I just knew I was going to start documenting things. And paint days, two paint days happened. We just started filming it. Again, a big shout out to Peter Lean Productions, who really came on board immediately with his equipment and his knowledge and experience. And and we just started going.
Well, in case, for our listeners that are not from Philadelphia, let me tell you how huge this is. Philadelphia is known around the world as the mural art city of the world. Not the United States, but the world. In less than 12 months following Gloria's unfortunate death, the city of Philadelphia agreed to have a mural painted in her honor in Philadelphia, and that was in April of 2015. So that is how powerful her impact and her legacy has been for this city, that the entire city government, along with its taxpayers and its citizens, have said, this is how we want to honor this human being. And then for you to take it another step to say, yes, we also want to document it in film. We want to document this story in film and to share it with the world. Thank you so much for that, Kelly. Kristen, back to you.
So I guess we are going to play the single to the documentary, kind of like the theme song I wrote. It's called "See You Later," and it's actually featuring Gloria Casarez.